and I'll email it once we're done. So I'll do a quick 60-second recap, just to kind of give an
Thank you, sir.
elevator pitch for everything from there. So my name's Brett. I'm one of the owners of
Hi,
Patient
Brett.
Rhino. We've been doing this for the last 4 to 5 years, and we only specialize in the aesthetic industry. Even more fine-tuned, if you want to get even more specific, body contouring specifically is where we really specialize and focus most of our energy and campaigns, although we do promote, all the neurotoxins, the fillers, the lasers, other services as well. We like the body contouring just because it's more high dollar.
So let me ask you, Brett, have you found that body contouring is where the money's at, basically?
Well, if we were to say, if I could potentially sell you one package and you make your break even on our fee versus having to see 30 people, which one would you ideally pick, right? So it's easier for our offices to make, their returns on us from 1, maybe 2 packages sold. So my answer would be yes, because my number one job is to make sure that our offices are making money, because if they're not, our retention is going to just
Right.
drop. So from our perspective, being greedy, I always want to have that, just because that's the easiest that you're able to make your return. And if you're making your return and you're profiting, you're likely going to stay with us each and every month.
Great.
So yeah,
So you
I like
mentioned,
that much better.
Those components that you focus on is like developing confidence. You mentioned patient confidence, so you can increase your conversion rate, I believe you said.
Yeah, when we had first started, well, first off, we were offering this to anybody, landscapers, carpet cleaners, restaurants, you name it. I ended up doing an event for my mom's a nurse practitioner. And so about 4 years ago, I did an event for her. They were promoting MERS aesthetics. So they had oil therapy, Selfina, which is cellulite reduction, oil therapy, skin tightening, and then, Xeomin, which is similar to Botox. And they absolutely crushed it. And so ended up getting a ton of referrals from the sales reps that were there. And so turns out we just, kind of fell into it from there and been doing the aesthetics ever since then. And it's been about 4 years from now. So I forgot exactly where I was going with that, but at the end of the day, I remember now. When we first started, it was really just generating leads. We'd have them be imported into a Google spreadsheet. The office was required to call, text, email, whatever they could do to get a hold of them. Unfortunately, on our end, even if we generate a ton of leads, that doesn't always necessarily equate to scheduled appointments, people walking in, or most importantly, sales. So we realized that even though we're generating leads, things absolutely have to change in order for us to hit the numbers and retention that our goals as a company are.
Gotcha.
And so we focus very heavily on the education side of things. So we've got an online membership area where you can log in, you can download resources. These are call scripts, scheduling scripts, how to get credit cards on file to eliminate no-shows, scripts on how to ask for referrals without it sounding needy, scripts on how to, get more 5-star reviews. We provide forms on consultation intake forms. So this is exactly what you should be asking in the consultation in order to figure out their goals, desires, needs, and frustrations. From here, all we've got to do is present a solution based on that. And what we also want to do is basically, how can you compare your service with other things out in the marketplace, right? So if you do non-invasive body contouring, compare it with lipo, right? Compare it with cool sculpting, compare it with other things, depending on what you're looking to do. And by doing that, you're able to educate them, be the expert, but most importantly, have the confidence, because if you know what to say, how to say it, and what questions to ask, logically, you're going to be more confident. We all know the more confident you are during a consultation, you're typically going to sell more as well. So, we just provide all the scripts, the training, the resources, how to reactivate clients. So those that you're no longer working with, if you have a list of name, number, and emails, well, once a month, we're going to take that list, create an offer with the offices we're working with, and we're going to send out a text blast, let them know that, hey, here's the special that we have this month. Here's what it does. Here's the problem that it solves, and here's why it's better than other alternatives. And if you're interested, click the button below to schedule an appointment, or if you do have questions, simply just reply back to the text. So kind of just goes all over. But at the end of the day, yeah, we've really focused on the education side of it, because, we were having countless offices have people come in the door for consultations, and they would sell 10, 20, 30% of them, which is we've got high KPIs and goals, and we want to be closing much, much higher. And so if we realize we can provide the resources to allow the office to have the confidence, not only are they going to make more money, but they're going to stay with us longer, so it benefits us. So
Understood.
yeah. So anyways, that's in a nutshell kind of what we've
Continue,
been doing
please.
and what's been our focus over the last few years. So it's been fun.
Got you.
And we've got about around 100 offices we're working with right now all across the US. We do only work with one office per city, per product. So if we've got one that wants Botox, the other wants laser hair, right? Those don't compete. So we do have
Right.
offices, but from our perspective, if we're gonna, say, hey, we want to get you leads, and we're sharing that with, technically your competition, I'm basically sharing the amount of packages sold with somebody else. So now not only do I have two offices that aren't extremely happy, but now they're both mediocre because we're sharing those. So
Right.
we've just
That's
realized
cool.
it's best to just have one per city per.
So it's per city. It's not even per zip code, because the city could have multiple.
Now, if it's LA, right, that's going to be different,
Obviously.
right? You could take 15 minutes, depending on time of day, and nobody's going to drive, unless you have a very unique offer, product, service, or
Understood.
treatment. So yeah, it's kind of based on miles away and population of the city.
Got you.
So yeah. So, but anyways, tell me about the treatment or the machine that you were talking about. Which one is that?
Well, I have a red light therapy.
Red light. Yeah, we run a lot of that.
I'm sure you do. I have another machine that basically shrinks fat, builds muscle, like an Emsculpt.
Okay, perfect. But just name something different, kind of different branding.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Emsculpt. Yeah, we run both of those. So the good news from our perspective, as you know, being in the industry, there's always a new treatment, new machine, new something out there. From our perspective, we really don't focus too much on the machine itself. We don't focus
You're about outcomes. I get it.
Yeah, we don't focus on the features. It's more the benefits. So if you're looking to help slim, tone, and tighten, that diet and exercise alone struggle to eliminate, and you're looking to not have super costly $10,000 plus packages, and you don't have the time, energy, resources to help with this, then we can help. So obviously it's worded better than that, but that's the overall pitch of what everything from there. So from there, what we do is we'll have access to your account, so your Facebook, your Instagram, your social media, right? Does no good to have branding on my company. We want to brand you, so even if someone doesn't sign up, they're at least seeing your name. From there, they would basically click on the ad. They go to a landing page that we create. Talks about what it does, what problems does it solve, and why is it better than other alternatives out there in the marketplace, with a promotion. And we typically have some scarcity, this month only kind of thing.
Right.
Just to get them to want to click now versus saying, oh, maybe next time I'll see this, because they may never see that ad again. From there, it goes into a CRM. The CRM basically tracks all of your leads, as well as all answers to their questions. So we don't want to just have name, number, email. We want to give more information about each person. So we may ask, which areas are you looking to slim and tone, tighten? We may ask, what are you currently doing, and what have you tried in the past in order to help resolve this? It depends on the treatment, right? If it's body contouring, we'll ask what areas they want to focus on. What have they tried? How soon do they want to start seeing results? We may ask, some of our offices like us to ask, are they pregnant, or something that could disqualify them, right? So these are quite customizable in order to know more about them before they even come in the door. And then they all get added to the CRM. The CRM will text the leads on your behalf. It will email the leads on your behalf. If you want to have automated dialing, we can do that as well. And then some offices do prefer to go with the call center. So if you want to have a call center, we are partnered with one where they will call within the first 7 minutes on average, twice a day for the next 7 days. So if you need help with that, our small offices sometimes like that. Others say, hey, I've got a full-time receptionist. Thanks, but I'd rather them have it, because they obviously are going to know more about the ins and outs of your business and services than a call center. So if you want volume, go to the call center. If you want, hey, I have somebody, then keep it in-house, right?
So you have
provide-
options.
Yeah, you have options. One's not better than the other.
Depends on your needs.
It depends on their needs, absolutely. So one's more volume, the other is more, transparency, have everything inside everything from there. But we do like to give the option because, people have different needs. So
Yeah, some people they fall apart. They get the lead and they can't process.
they either absolutely despise it or they're busy and they don't have the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Understood.
And then from there, like I said, we'll provide you resources on, here's what to ask in the consultation. Here's the questions to ask. We provide objection handling flashcards or like, the note cards, whatever they're called. So if you have common objections on how to overcome price, I need to talk to my partner. I don't know if this is right for me right now. I don't know if I trust it, whatever it may be, we provide, all those. So if you don't get the sale one time, what can you do to get it the next? So that's really what we pride ourselves on is how can
Hold
we
on
do
one second. I'm
different-
listening to you. I'm right here in the room. Continue.
Yeah, you're good. And then from there, all of our offices are paired with the client success coach. So they are basically their one-on-one contact. We have weekly calls with them and the office. The questions that we're going to ask on these calls are, tell me about this week. How many appointments did you have? How many showed? Tell me your close rate and how much money did you collect? Now, from our perspective, we don't do a rev share model. I know some in the industry do that. So whether you make $1,000 or $20,000, right, that doesn't impact how much you pay us. What it does, however, allow us to do is to figure out and identify what problems or challenges you're having. So if you had 6 appointments and you only closed one, well, let's dive deeper into the 5 that said no. Is there anything the next time around we can do differently in order to close that? So, we're a sales organization and we want to focus on, sales for people like you. So if you're closing, you're going to be happy and you're going to stay with us. So.
Got it.
Yeah. Now, just so I kind of have an idea, the 2 that you mentioned was one similar to Emsculpt, then a red light therapy. I know it may be branded differently from there. Just kind of get an idea, how many appointments, are you seeing on a weekly basis on average right now?
Probably 5 new ones. a week.
Okay, great. What are you doing to get 5 new ones? You're obviously doing something.
Events.
Right.
EDDM. Everyday direct mail.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just a combination of a whole bunch of things.
I'm sure you're getting some referrals if you're having that many coming in.
Yes.
So cool. Do you
Certainly.
feel that is a very low volume? I don't know how many rooms and techs you have. Do you feel that you could double, triple?
No,
like-
yeah.
So basically you've got multiple rooms and
Yes, right.
okay, perfect, cool, great. Okay, perfect. And have you done any, we primarily focus on the social media side of advertising. Have you done that before, either in-house or maybe with another company?
Yeah, it's not very productive at the moment.
Okay. Why is that, do you feel?
We just haven't focused on it really more than anything.
Oh, so you're not necessarily doing it so much.
Right.
Okay. What about the paid ad side of things through social media? Have you tried that?
Well, I'm looking at my options right now,
Okay.
including companies like you. I'm looking at my options.
But you've never tried it.
Right.
Got it. Okay, cool. So with social media ads, there's a few things that, are a little bit different than what you're, kind of doing from referrals. Our goal with our ads are to try and get new people that have typically never heard of you.
Right.
So what does this mean? You're not going to have every lead that's going to schedule. You're not going to have every lead that comes in. You're not going to have everyone come in from there, right? So this is a volume play.
Right.
What we do in order to help qualify those is to have them ask additional questions. Areas they
Right.
want, how soon they want to start, what if they tried, So they fill out almost like a mini survey in order to have that. What this means to you is, you know, whether or not they're a good fit almost right off the bat anyway, even if you know nothing about them. It's also what it means for us is that it's typically higher quality, and the more questions they have, typically it means they're more interested. Because, you know, if you were to have something come on for, you know, a service or a, you know, something on Amazon that I'm not interested in, I'm not going to fill out a few questions.
Right.
So this does filter some of those out. It also helps us with the call center. Hey, I saw you're interested in slimming your stomach and you've tried, you know, diet, exercise, and you had a personal trainer. Tell me about that, why that didn't really work for you.
Sure, right.
Here's what's different, right? So that's kind of the idea from there. So anyways, it's going to be a volume kind of play from everything from there. We'll ask additional questions in order to qualify those. If you want a call center, we can set you up with it. And then at the end of the day, these are resources that are going to be beneficial for not only your front desk, but who does the consultation. One of the popular questions that we're going to ask in our form when we schedule them is, are you interested in learning about any of our other services, treatments, or promotions? Why is this so beneficial for you? Because now, instead of you having to just tap around the consultation and try and figure out, well, damn, what are they even interested in besides this? We're already able to tell you that. So if you also offer laser and neurotoxins and chemical peel or hydrofacial or massages, now you automatically know, hey, they said they're interested in this, meaning it's easier for you to cross-sell and upsell.
Right.
So even if they're not available to buy this $2,500 body contouring package, hey, that's okay. I see you're interested in this. So we can either downsell, upsell, cross-sell. And so by knowing more about the consumer before they walk into your door, this is that confidence that I mentioned to you about. Whoever that tech is doing the consultations, they're going to have more confidence knowing more about them, what challenges they've had, what they tried in the past, and also what they're interested in. So this is just what we've been able to do to kind of get the most out of each person that comes in, again, without being salesy, just by asking the right questions. It's your job just to provide the solution. So that's kind of how it works from everything from there. How much of volume you want to have really depends on
how much money you want to pay,
what you're able to have, because we do pay a lot, you know, much of this into Facebook directly, right? We may say, hey, you should throw another $1,000 that goes towards Facebook, or maybe you're at kind of this mid-tier here. Most of our offices, they're going to be around the $2,500 a month mark, just kind of give you an idea. Again, varies drastically based on.
Is that about the nationwide average for a package?
For body contouring, yes. If I'm answering the question correctly.
What about face?
For the face, it depends, right? You've got old therapy, which is non-invasive skin tightening. That's $2,000 to $3,000. Could be up to $5,000 if they want to do the neck and the chest area as well. If you know, face,
is that radio? Is that attended radio frequency? That old therapy? No, that's high intensity ultrasound. That's right.
Yeah, it's kind of painful. So the benefit of yours versus that one is, you know, that one they are going to be they're going to be feeling some discomfort. Now, if you want a hydrofacial, right, the average office does that for $199 to $250, right? So if you want Botox, the average consumer is going to spend $250 to $300. So it just depends on what's specifically from there. You know, Botox.
Where's the money made? Where else? You know, from your perspective as a marketing company, what should ideally, if you know, when in a perfect world, what should a med spa be focusing on if you're looking at it strictly from a numbers perspective?
From a numbers perspective, I would offer Botox. You're never going to be $1 million practice because of Botox, but you can become $1 million practice by getting people in the door through Botox. So if you want volume, we book more Botox than any other treatment. However, it's far less profitable. But if you want volume of introducing,
it's a loss leader to get them, it's a get people in the door kind of thing.
We book more Botox than anything else, but in regards of revenue per appointment, it's body contouring.
How about fillers?
Fillers are great as well. You know, what we try and do in some of our questions that we ask.
You throw in fillers with Botox? Is that kind of like all in one? We fillers you can get, I mean, it can be a lot of money. It could be like $1,000, right?
Exactly. What we try and do is if we're promoting neurotoxins, we'll ask, sometimes even in our text messages, we'll send like a photo of a face tell me each area that you want to have for Botox. Now we'll
That's
have
cool.
chin, lips, cheeks, knowing that Botox doesn't do that. But what's interesting is they'll start filling it out and saying, well, I want lips. Okay, well, I know automatically you're a candidate for filler. So it's kind of a trick question. Which areas do you want Botox on, knowing that Botox doesn't treat those areas, but you're able to say, hey, I want to create my job, create a personalized treatment plan based on what you're telling me.
Any kind of person doing $1 million, they generally have. I thought the same thing. The Botox is just, it's no money, but it pulls them in the door.
It gets them in the door. So if you want volume, but I recommend Botox. If you want revenue per
case,
I recommend those that are higher end. Most of our body contouring packages that we promote, they're typically going to be around the $2,500 a month mark. I also mentioned that our average package is $2,500, right? So if I can get you one customer, pretty easy to keep.
So what about maintenance programs? Like after their series of treatments, do your offices, do you teach them how to do like monthly memberships and/or maintenance?
I do, yes. So for maintenance, it depends on the treatment, right? Botox, we're going to talk the face. The way that I phrase it, Botox is more like a Band-Aid. It's not going to get down to the root cause. And if you've got dry skin and other things that are causing that to have happen, it's only going to continue to get worse and worse. So maybe you need a hydrofacial to get down to the pores and hydrate it. Maybe you need a chemical peel. Maybe you need PDO threads. Maybe you need filler, whatever it may be. But typically Botox is not going to fix the root problem. It's just to prevent what's happening now and kind of go from there.
I'm talking about body contouring on maintenance or membership.
Yeah, body contouring, the way that we typically have that, I'll show you an example of like one of our intake forms. So this is for body contouring. We've got one for the face as well, where it's basically tell me about, your habits, your goals. What have you tried in the past? Do you have any upcoming events? The goal of this here is to prevent and overcome objections before they arise. One of the most frequent objections you're going to have is, well, I need to think about it, or I want to talk to my spouse to go over it, right? But what if they told me that in a couple months that they're going on
you got this wedding you're going to, right?
I can help you get there, but
a high school reunion.
I can't. I don't have the confidence of getting you to that goal unless we start now. And you've already been trying A, B, C, and D. None of those worked. What else do you have to lose, right? So when those objections happen, if you get ahead of it early, it's easier to overcome. One of the things that we'll do is tell me about the problem areas. On a scale from 1 to 10, let's just say they say stomach and they said that they're at a 6, they want to get to a 10. Well, what I know here is if I'm able to, if I can draw on this real quick, if they say they're at a 1 out of 10, hold on, let me see if I can scroll down here. If they're at a 6 and they want to get to a 10, well, I cannot just go from a 6 to a 10. What I can, however, do is get you from a 6 to a 7, to an 8, to a 9, and to a 10. Now, I know based on your body type, measurements, all of that, it's typically going to take 2 sessions in order to get you to each one. So what does this mean for me? Times 2, 2, 2, and 2. Well, that's 8 sessions just till I can even get you here. So this is why we sell more 10 packs. Now, let's say that they were at an 8, right? And instead of being at, or, say that they were at a 6 just on their stomach. Now, their next problem area may be blue, which is, let's say their thighs, bra line, love handles, whatever it may be, and they're at an 8. Now, depending on the device that you have, some devices you can do more than one area at a time. Other devices, you have to stick strategically to one before you move on to the next. So now if I want to get you from here to here, right, this means 2 more here, 2 more here. We're at 8, 9, 10. We're at 12 sessions right now. So what we've come to realize by working with so many offices is that even if they were to get problem number 1 and they were to get out of 10 out of 10, if you were to ask them on a satisfaction, where do you feel that you lie? Were we able to reach your goals? It's typically not. Meaning you typically need more areas that they want to focus on. or let's say they did only have one area. The problem with most of this is some of these treatments can permanently destroy the fat cells. The problem with that is it doesn't mean that it's going to prevent new ones from coming up, right?
Right.
So let's just say that your treatment, you got to see them once every 2 weeks, right? Every device is different. We'll just stick with 2 weeks.
Sure.
Maybe instead of coming every 2 weeks for this, and I did get you at a 10 out of 10, how frustrated and pissed off would you be if you spent $2,500 and then 3 months, 6 months, 12 months later, you're right back where you started? This is where the maintenance plans come in. What I want to do is not only get it off, but I want to keep it off. So now maybe instead of coming every 2 weeks, maybe just come once a month, maybe every 6 weeks, right? Again, depending on the device that you have. But this is how we sell the maintenance plans, by educating them on, hey, I can get you here. Here's how many sessions it's going to take you to get you there. However, to keep it, you don't need to come as often, but I recommend still coming, right? Kind of chiropractors, right? You can have preventative care, you can have wellness care, but you can also just come once a month, even if you're not in pain. Kind of the same with body contouring, is how can we not only get it off, but how can we keep it off? And that's where the maintenance plans comes in. And so this is how we,
do you recommend selling a maintenance plan up front, or only after they're down their journey? How does that work? Because
we'll typically have them do the full care plan, which is going to be 10 sessions. Now, again, if they had 3 areas, 10 may not be enough, depending on the device.
Right.
Obviously, I'm just going easy numbers here. Now, after that is typically where we'll sell the maintenance plan. The mistake that most offices make here is they will get to the end here, get to 10 where their package is done. Oops, hold on.
Go ahead.
How do I draw? Okay. The problem is they'll get to session number 10 when they're done with the package. And then this is where they start to pitch it. The problem is here, they were coming into this door with the mindset of, this is my last session. I can't believe I'm almost done. Well, their mentality is walking into your office that, hey, I'm actually done here. The problem is you really need to be pitching it much, much sooner. In fact, in the initial consultation, the personalized treatment plan is, hey, we're going to do with this. After that, this is what comes next.
I see.
So when you're around session number 6, assuming you're doing 10 sessions, hey, you're halfway there. We typically do another consult where we'll bring up this consult plan again and say, here's where you were. How do you feel that you are on track? Do we feel that we're on track with that? Okay, well, I know your first area or focus was this. After this, once we get here, we're going to move on to this section. So again, you're pre-framing them and their mentality that, hey, there's always something next. They just have to be aware of it. Most offices will pitch it at the end when their mentality was, oh, I can't believe this is my last session. And then now they're like, oh man, I got to do a whole another 10. But what if that was done each time and you're reminding them of the journey by letting them know and reminding them over and over and over. So now when you come to here, it's not even a sale. It's not a pitch. It's just, let's get started. We've already talked about this.
So that's smart.
So you got to do it early, and you need to do it continuously.
Early and often.
Early and often. And that's the biggest mistake that we see most offices make.
So this is how you're adding a lot of value.
This is how we're adding the value, and this is how the offices are able to increase lifetime value, because you don't have to rely on, well, what if I get that no right here? Well, you don't have to ask for a no here if you just tell them every time. Or not, maybe not every time, but a lot of times. And so this is the training that you've got to really.
Let me ask you, do you offer your patients like good, better, best package, or you just, it's all or none? It's either here's our deal or nothing. I mean, what is it statistically, financially, I got the bronze, silver, gold package, basically.
Yes, depending on what they want to have from there. Now, we've got some offices that we work with.
Have you been able to track that to see what really generates more money, or how that works? Because I know a lot of offices, they'll like add all the value on the expensive package, obviously, right?
What we try and do I mean, it depends on what they need, right? If they say that they're only interested in slimming and toning or some other things for their face or, whatever it may be, it depends from everything.
Let's just talk body contouring for the time being.
Yeah, so if it's body contouring, I mean, we'll normally start with the 10 pack for most devices. Some are 2 sessions, some are 20, right? Just depends. But this is basically what we do from everything from there. We pitch it often, we pitch it regularly. I'm not sure if I'm answering your question or if I'm understanding it though.
So you don't recommend, you don't teach your offices to do different tiers of packages?
If you have different tiers, if I said to you, hey, you can pick A, B, or C, which one do you want? The problem with that is sometimes they have to think about it. I like giving, here's my recommendation, take it or leave it kind of thing. Now, if they say no, then maybe I'll divert to plan B or plan C. But if you give 3 options, well, crap, I don't know. Let me do some
I gotta
research.
ask my spouse. Let
Let me think about it. If you give 1 option, what's there to think about? You already told me these are the areas. You've already told me that you've tried all these things. You've already told me you've got a wedding coming up you want to look good at. What else do you need? So I like giving 1. This is my, if you go to a mechanic, he's not going to say, well, you could fix the radiator or you could fix this. I'm not a car guy, so I don't know the parts, but he's going to say, what you need, this is the price.
Understood. Okay.
Now, what I will do, however, is if I'm pitching a 10 pack and they say, it's a little more than what I want, I typically will not give a discount. Instead, I will ask myself, what can I add that's more value, that's going to get them better results, which is really why they're here for.
Right.
To add on to that for maybe no cost. So maybe instead of, just 10 sessions, you know what? I've got this sauna, I've got this red light, I've got this sauna, vibration machine. It costs me nothing. All I got to do is plug it in and I can walk away. So I'll start adding on things in addition to that, because I know you didn't just come to me to get the best deal. You came.
So you don't offer that stuff from the get-go.
No.
You don't offer some of the extras.
No. Now sometimes.
What do you do? Do you do that to try to just close the deal?
I'll typically
add more just to close the deal. For instance, certainly a vibration platform, they will get better results, but you don't necessarily offer that up front. You'll hold that in reserve just to close the deal. Is that it?
Say if I'm going to do a 10 pack, I know I'm going to pitch a 10 pack every time. Now, maybe they don't need a 10 pack on one session, but again, maybe they have other areas. Or let's say you do reach your goals. We want to get it off, but keep it off. So you'll just continue your maintenance plan in this package. If you say, you know what, I reached my goal. What I'll typically do is say with the 10 pack, you get 10 sessions of the vibration. You get 10 of, this. And I'm going to always keep something in my back pocket that I know I'm going to get.
There you go.
Now, if you want to start with the 5 pack, which we offer, you just don't get the 10 of the vibrations, or you don't get this. Now you do not only that. So here's how we'll typically price it. Is we'll typically be, let's just say that, 10 equals $2,500. Right? But we'll have 5. Maybe 5 is $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this mean? You can always start with 5 and you can always come back. But I already told you, based on this transformation journey here and the chart that I drew for you, you're going to need more than 5 anyway. So not only if you do 5 times 10, or excuse me, if you get the 5 pack twice, you're spending $3,000 over time. So you're spending more money, but not only that, I'm going to give you the vibrations. So if I say I do 10 of those, let's just say that's valued at, I'll just throw easy numbers out here. Let's just say $250. And I'm going to give you, the sauna, which I'll value X number of those at, another $250. So now, not only are you saving $500 here, but you're also getting another $500 worth of bonuses. So that's a difference of $1,000 in services that you're getting by getting the 10 pack.
Understood.
So I will let them know that, hey, with the 10, you will get this extra thing, but I also have 1 or 2 more things in my back pocket that I'm willing.
Sure.
But the catch is, you got to get started today.
How do you say that about you got to get started? You got how do you pitch that?
So here's the thing. What I have realized is that, and to be honest with you, we notice the same thing for our offices that work with us, even though we're not the ones doing treatments. What we
Right.
have realized and our offices have realized is those that get started are typically action takers. Those that are action takers are typically more committed to do the things that are required to get them from A to B. Those that want to think about it, those are kind of wishy-washy. You get 1 foot in, you get 1 foot out. I'll be honest with you, if you're not committed, don't waste your money. I'm only here to help you get the transformation, but I can only get you there by doing what I can control. And I can't control if you're going to eat McDonald's and sit on the couch eating potato chips every day. So those that are committed typically are more willing to do the things necessary in order to get them done. And because of that, I'm more willing to go the extra mile for those that are willing to meet me halfway. So what I'm willing to do, I typically don't do this. And the only thing that I ask is, I know you don't know any of our clients, but even if you do, I ask that you keep this kind of private because we don't always offer this. However, I'm so committed to helping you because I know that you're at a 3 and you want to get to a 10. You've tried all these things and nothing seemed to work. I am here to help you, but I need you to be equally as committed. And if you're wanting to think about it and shop around, I know that you're not committed. And if that's the case, that's okay. But if this is something you're serious about, what I'm willing to do for you today is to go ahead and throw in this other thing. It's typically valued at $750. I'll go ahead and throw this in for you if you can meet me halfway and we can meet and come to this agreement today. And so that's how I position it, where it's not being salesy, but it's more so I'm committed to helping you, but I need you committed as well.
I like that language, Brett.
Yeah. And that typically works pretty well. Because they're not feeling
you can meet me halfway. I'm committed. I need you to be committed. You're committed. I'm willing to stretch and push and add even more.
Yeah, but if you're, I don't know, and you're with, hey, I'm here to help with transformations. If you're not willing to do this thing, that's okay. But I don't want to push you to do something that you're not going to do because, again, I can only do what I can control in the office. I can't control what you do outside of it. And I know that if you're going to commit to a $2,500 package or a $5,000 package, you're probably not going to be halfway in, halfway out. And I'm willing to give you even more, but I need to make sure that you're committed. So I apply that as a commitment level without being, pushy, but more so here's what I'm doing where you meet me in the middle.
I love it.
And then that's pretty much it from there. By asking the questions. And again, your number one job is to take their problems and, present a solution to it. And if you're able to do that, you can do it in a way that's not salesy, where you can sell more packages. But not only that, what we've noticed is the clients that pay the most, they're typically not as, the phrase, the clients you give discounts to, they're the biggest pain in the asses, right? So instead of discounting, if you discount once, I guarantee you they will want to discount again. So I don't
add more value. Don't discount the price.
Don't discount. If you got to give a bonus, give a bonus. But we never want to discount, because not only are those the ones who expect the most and want to pay the least, they don't always expect a bonus. Well, that came with that one, right? I don't have a bonus for injectables, right? You don't typically get asking that, but you will get asked for a discount over and over and over again. And so that's how to overcome the discounts. Just throw something in. Now, however, when you throw something in, it needs to be something that doesn't cost you a lot of time.
Right.
I mean, you're having wood therapy, for example. You're going to be sitting there for an hour.
Right.
That's a terrible thing.
No, that's not what you want to do. Right.
Now, it's basically free. You just pay labor or payroll. But injectables, that's also something bad, right? You can be in and out in 15 minutes. However, it's costing you an arm and a leg to fulfill on that. So you need something that doesn't cost you much time, but it doesn't cost you much money. And has a high perception. Their perceived value of that is high.
Why? Why is it perceived value high? Why do you say that?
let's say that if you say, hey, I'm going to give you this M-Sculpt thing in here. Now, after that, I'll throw in the red light therapy. What the red light therapy or the sauna is going to do is going to break that down. It's going to help metabolate everything. It's going to help, with this. So if you combine those, you're actually speeding up the process in which you can see results. And at the end of the day, they came into your office for a transformation. They didn't come into your office to just buy a package or buy a service. They came in for, right? We're not selling the features, we're selling the benefit. I'm not selling the fact that, hey, if you want to go to Hawaii, I'm not going to sell the fact that, hey, you get a cookie and a drink on the flight. I'm going to sell, imagine how it would feel putting your sand
Be on the beach.
Sand.
Yeah.
The cool breeze. You got some music playing. You got a margarita in your hand.
You got these sexy people in front of you.
Yeah, I'm selling. How would it feel? To have all this kind of in there, and these, and are you committed? And again, commitment is a big one that I talked about. Another one real quick that I see a lot of people make the mistake. This is a huge mistake we see all offices make. How soon do you want to get started with the treatment? The issue with that is they'll say, well, my husband's out of town. I'm taking care of the kids. He'll be back, in a couple of weeks. We'll start that. Hey, when the kids are back in school. But this one simple change of how soon do you want to start seeing results? Nobody says, but they will say, I want to start the treatment next month. Now, if you say, I want to start results next month, okay, let me ask this. Why did you come in today? Nobody does all of this. They want results next month, but everybody wants results immediately. However, if you ask, how soon do you want to start the package? You're shooting yourself in the foot, because they could say, well, when my kids are back in school, when this thing happened, when I pass this exam, when there's always and then when they say that, how do you overcome that? It's very difficult.
So that slight distinction makes all the difference in the world.
Huge difference. How soon do you want to start seeing results? Perfect. Let's get started. That's the close. That's when you go in for the close.
Perfect. Let's get started. Let's do it.
Yeah. So these small tweaks, oh man, they make the absolute biggest difference.
Do you have any of your offices like record their consult so you can critique it?
We've tried to. It's up to you on that, to be honest with you, because either number one, you've got to ask their permission, or you've got to be sneaky and sly and, I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do.
No, just from the practitioner to really be upgraded by you guys' expertise. Like, look at, dude, you just said right there, how soon do you want to start your package? Where, next month. Just like that little distinction where they didn't even catch themselves.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just maybe a value-added service that you guys can offer.
We have done it.
You can hold in reserve.
We have done it, and we have asked, hey,
it must be a time suck to do.
Hey, we're gonna be having a new hire in here, just so they can learn. Is it okay if I record the process? Right. Some people are fine with it, some are not. Again, training is, training and quality assurance, same like if you have a call recording. It's what they all say. So yeah, that's pretty much it from there. And so what we do is we leverage, assets and training like this, because it's these small shifts that an office doesn't
make all the difference in the close rates. I get you.
So if anybody can get them leads, I can get you leads, the guy in the basement down the street can get you leads, but it's how can we convert those leads into high paying customers that come back to you again and again and again. And I think that's what sets us apart.
Let's go into how your payment structure for the paid leads.
So for the paid leads from there, we do offer a couple of different options. Like I said, our most popular is this 2,500. That's typically what I recommend always starting at. Sure, we have offices paying us significantly higher than that, but that was never their first month, right? You got to work out the kinks, you've got to test, you've got to do the training, you've got to learn the CRM. If I gave you 100 leads, 150, 200 leads, which we can definitely do, this may be overwhelm, which causes mistake, it causes frustration. So that's typically where I recommend starting. Basically, what that includes is that's going to include unlimited coaching from our team. You will be paired up with a one-on-one client success coach. Each week, you're at minimum, especially the first month, needs you to hop on a call to provide feedback. What are you hearing on the phones if you're doing the follow-up? What are you seeing in the consultations? Tell me about the sales. where you're at right now. And by knowing this information, we can identify the biggest challenges and what we need to do in order to fix that. This includes all the advertising. So we do this from Facebook and Instagram. We're going to generate the leads. We're also going to better qualify those leads by asking them to fill out a mini survey. That's something I know a lot of our competitors don't do. We also will help follow up and save you and your team time, energy, and frustration. We're going to text them. We're going to email them. If you want automatic dialers that call your office, hey, you have a new lead from Brett Watts to press 1, interested in body contouring. If you're not available, you just hang up the call. If you are available, we can automatically connect you to the lead. You just press 1 button on your keypad. It's going to automatically
Like a hot lead transfer.
hot lead transfers. Yeah. So these are just things that we can do because we know that if you call them 3 days from now, they probably forget, right? These people were not going on Google and searching for your services.
That's 2,500. Does that include, that doesn't include ad spend or what?
It does include ad spend. Yeah.
How much?
Whatever, it's 50 lead guarantee. So
50.
yeah.
Okay.
Now you may get 60 leads, you might get 90 leads. You know, you're typically never going to get less than 50 leads out of that. And then, yeah, that includes the CRM, that includes the follow-up, that includes pretty much everything from there, the training, the resources, every Monday.
Leads, what is it? Is it like a low cost initial freebie or, you know, a mini session?
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Are you offering like a, you know, a low cost, come try me? Like, what does that advertising to the patient look like? Is it a low cost?
Oh, do you mean on your end? Like what your ad would say, or do you mean for our team?
The leads that you're generating.
Yeah.
Is it for a low cost try me session?
Yes, it will be. Yep. If you try and promote $2,500 package for a treatment they've never heard of,
no,
not going to happen. This is why the consult form, we realize we got to fix this. We're having our offices come in there selling single sessions and 3-packs and 5-packs for $1,000 or $500. Like that's not going to cut it. So this is where we came in and are like, okay, we gotta stop this because we were having so many offices sell these super low end packages. It's a disservice
to everyone. Disservice to the patient, disservice to the office, disservice to headaches for you.
Yeah, because you know whether you pay $300 or $3,000, even if I got to pay $20, if that's not going to get me my desired results, I don't want to.
So just so I'm clear, the 2,500 includes 50 lead minimum guarantee.
Yeah. So that is.
What about like the call center?
If you on the call center, that's not our team, right? That's somebody we partner with. They charge $750 a month.
Okay.
So it's optional if you want to have it. For me, I don't make any money off that, so I don't care if you do or not, but it's available if you need it. So they'll call within the first 7 minutes. They'll call 2 times a day for a week straight. You're able to customize a call script. So if you want disqualifying questions, like, are you pregnant? What's your budget? You know, they can ask those things. Their job is to give you and your team the confidence that, you know, this is a good fit. I know exactly what they want, and I know what they've tried, and I know what they're sick and tired of it. And I know for a fact we can help them reach their goals before you even speak to them.
Do most offices, what does this trajectory look like? Do most offices do 2,500 and they'll stay there? Do they increase it? What is the average office doing?
You know, it depends on the services they offer. For some of our offices that have, you know, a team of 12 and they've got all these services, we're promoting Botox, filler, laser hair removal, we're promoting a lot for them. Other offices, you know, we have some massage clinics. We don't promote massage, by the way. It's too low dollar. It's not worth our time. They wouldn't get the return, long story short.
Right.
If that's what they offer, we just promote that for them, and that's it. And they stay at that package, and they're making money. Right. And it's consistent from everything from there. And
what about like big cities versus smaller cities? Obviously, to get 50 leads in a bigger city is a lot. It's hard to break through the noise. A small city, it's easy.
Not necessarily. We can do that in both. You know, we've got very
I
rural
see.
areas, we've got large ones. The only difference is that
Rural areas and sometimes are easier because it's just so much less competition.
exactly. Now, on the vice versa side of things, you may have what's called ad fatigue, where they're seeing the same promotion over and over. In a large city, we can sometimes run the same offer for a year. Smaller cities, hey, after 2 months, hey guys, our costs are like they're skyrocketing. Like we got to change it up. And so we're going to come to you and say, hey, what else do you have to offer? Or can we put a different branding on it? Right? Maybe we want to start in promoting a mini mommy makeover. That's a popular one that we do sometimes when we see
Right.
that. And then what we can do is you can switch it for a month where people stop seeing the one thing. We'll do different photos, different videos. You know, the ad looks different. It's a different offer. When that starts dying down, we just go back to it. So we just kind of rinse and repeat. Again, bigger cities, you may not
So what
need
does
to.
that come to? What is that? 250 divided by, what is that? $50 a lead, basically? How much is that?
I don't know, I'm not a math guy, to be honest with you. Yeah, if we said 2,500 divided by 50, yeah, that's 50.
It's $50 a lead.
Yeah. So, but again, you're getting the one-on-one support, the coaching, all of our scripts, the resource guide I just showed you. Every Monday and Wednesday, we do group calls. We may have 5 offices join, we may have 20 offices join. This is where you can ask questions. The reason it's so valuable is because you can not only, you only know what you know. You may not think of a question that another office asks. Different offices or businesses, myself included.
Yeah, I like group calls. That makes a lot of sense. It's shared experience. I mean, it's synergy and it's a mastermind. I get
If
it.
you got an office that's at $10,000 a month, another that's at 50, another that's at 100, they're going to have different problems and challenges in their business. So if you can hear someone that's ahead of you asking those questions,
I think it's very insightful. It's only a positive.
yeah. So anyways, you know, that's what we do. You got
You have
that.
minimums, you have contract minimums.
Yep, that's one thing I didn't get to. So it's a 90-day transformation for us. So just like you, I mentioned, it's a disservice to sell a single session because you're never going to get them to their goals. It's sometimes difficult for us to get you to your goals in the first 30 days. Every area is different. I wish I could have one ad that I could run in every city. Realistically, that's just impossible. If you ever have a marketer say, hey, we got the ad that works in every area,
Of course, that's ridiculous.
full of it. The only
Not only that, you gotta think about it, like you said.
what I do know, however, is a very tactical way in order to find out what works in every area by running a variety. We'll run 9 different ads to start. These are going to be different images, different ad copies. Now they're the same promotion, but they're different. And from here, we do what's called split testing. So I know exactly what's working, what's not working. Now, once I find the winner, I turn those off that are not working. I reallocate that funds to the ones that's working, and I just scale it. So we run 9 different variations to start. From here, process of elimination. And then you scale what works, eliminate everything that's not.
Let me ask you this. So I know like one of your competitors, they do this initial one-time, call it a $37 intro. But to make more money, because they keep that money.
Yep.
They'll want to do like a 3-pack too. Instead of just one, now you do a 3-pack. So they can keep that money too. And they're saying, well, you get 3 tries to convince that patient versus just one.
We just do flat fee. That's it. It's more simple. It's also easier for you to budget how much you're making, how much you're spending, everything from there. In our CRM, you're able to track how many leads, how many requested an appointment, how many confirmed, how many came in, how many no-showed. Out of those that came in, we just ask you, update how much they spent. Again,
Understood.
I don't do rev share. It's not that I want to make more from you. It's just if you have no idea how much money you made from us in addition to all your other 5 new appointments a week, how are you supposed to know should you be spending more or less with our team?
I understand. Let me ask you this question. How what other offer do you make for the patient besides the low cost one time or whatever?
to the
Do you
patient.
have different, obviously you have different kinds of office. What seems to be working?
I mean, our ads focus more on the transformation, their emotion, how to make them feel. And hey, come in for a no cost, you know, it's going to be a consultation of a body analysis. You know, some of our offices have those 3D scans kind of thing.
Right.
You know, we may say that. And so now we can provide a personalized treatment plan that's based on you, your measurements, your body type, your budget, right? Body contouring is not a one size fits all. And you know, being a lead, you're not gonna know what they look like. So we don't like recommending a pack, although we're always going to pitch a 10-pack, because we either, number one, you said 3 areas you want to focus on, or you said 1 area, but again, the maintenance. So if you have extra and we hit your goal, oh, you know, and sometimes I'll do storytelling, you know, and I'll say, you know, we had this lady came in, you know, she came in a year ago. She's probably spent $2,500. She was, oh my God, her transformation looked incredible. Problem is, she got back to her old habits. Here she is a year later. She's got to spend another $3,000. How frustrated would you be if we could have prevented that from the start? So, you know, that's really the, you know, our tactic behind it. We're not salesy, but if you can get where they at, where they want to be, what have they tried, what's preventing them from getting there, and you're able to provide a solution, right? We're just presenting that from there. So, and that's why, you know, this is probably the most, you know, if I'll be honest with you, this is probably, you know, if you want to call this a sales call, you know, if you can learn this much from a sales call, imagine how much, you know, you or your partners can learn just by working with us on a continuous basis.
Oh, yeah, I get it. So let me ask you this. So you said you have the $2,500 is probably the most popular one. What other options do I have?
Some of our offices are spending, you know, from 4, 5, 7K with us. Again, they never start that way. So the fact that we have a lot of offices doing that only means they would never buy that. We don't pitch that up front ever. It's because they know that our process works. So that is one of our smaller ones from there.
Scale.
Yeah, that is one of our more, you know, I'd say kind of smaller ones, because if I were to say, hey, I'll cut this price in half, I'll charge you $1,000, but I'm gonna give you 10 leads. You might get one, right? You know, you don't have a big enough sample size that the value, it's like, hey, I'm gonna do the left side of your stomach and not the right. If you don't have enough of the thing that's going to get you to where you want to be, it's just a disservice. And so that's kind of what we've seen as well. A threshold, you know, there were times we said, hey, we'll give you 30 leads, we'll give you 20 leads. You know, sometimes, you know, you have a few people come in and, you know, you stumbled over the consultation, you stumbled over this, you know, we weren't able to get something in there. You know, something happened where they canceled. If you don't have enough of the thing that's going to get you there, it's not worth having. If you were to sell,
so let me ask you. So your program to me is this $2,500 initial. Is that my only option, or what other choices do I have?
We've got a bigger package, which is called our Infinity. That's a 16K program.
That's just the start package. Well, tell me about that super quick.
Yeah, it's a $16,000 program. It's basically, you know, 90 days. It comes with the ads as well. The only difference is we're a little bit more hands-on with the office. You know, if you want us to help call some of your leads to learn from the process, if you want to come on and role play. Now, we'll still do those on the one-on-ones, but it's just a little more intimate.
It's intense. Okay.
If you have a new hire, we'll fully train them from A to Z for you, right? If you want help with hiring, we'll even help you launch an Indeed job application.
Okay, I got you.
So, yeah.
I'm going to bring this to my team. I like everything you said.
So, right. Perfect.
I like most things you said. Can you send me a recording so I can review this?
I can, yeah, and I've got a call as well coming up here.
Can you send this to Maria?
Let me make sure I got her email here.
BioBodyLightMaria@gmail.
I have her email. Let me make sure. BioBodyLightMaria@gmail. Yes.
You got it. Send this to her, please.
Perfect. Let me ask you this. what do you ultimately need in order to kind of make a decision for everything? I know you're talking to others. I want to respect your, time. In fact, I think you should see all the competition just because I know most of our competitors. So I know what we do is far more hands-on and far more, value added than your typical, hey, here's some leads, good luck. May have call center here and there, but what based on what you're kind of seeing, if you don't mind just transparency, like on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you think that we
I
align?
like everything you said.
Yeah. Perfect. Cool. What do you need
I'm
from me?
assuming that's scalable. If I want more than 50 leads, how does that work?
100%. From there, you can say, hey, I want to throw another $500, whatever that can
And
get
how
us.
does that work? What do the numbers come out to? So I'm clear.
We'll typically just say, hey, how much more do you want? Whatever you want to throw in addition to that, it's 100% goes to ad spend. So if you say $500, we'll throw all that towards ads. If you say $1,000, $100, we're mid-size, right? We're not tiny that we're only working with 10 offices, right? But we're not one of these that's, super corporate and everything either. So, our goal is to make sure that we can be adaptable. We can customize everything. So our goal is to
I like what you said. You explain it well. You're a good educator.
Yeah. And that's what we take pride in. Anybody can do ads. Anybody. It's not hard. You can go on YouTube University, spend 2 hours. You can generate your own leads. That's not
Right.
that's not what I take pride in.
That's not, I get it.
Yeah. So cool. Well, I'll send that. Let me ask this. When can I expect to hear back from you or Maria?
Do me a favor if you would. Call Maria. Set up another meeting with her like in a week from now.
Okay. And that week is what? Just have you guys be able to shop around or what?
That's right.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me do this just because if you don't mind, I am running a little bit late on a call right now. Could you click the link that I'm going to send you and maybe just book a time that whatever works for you or Maria, just pick any time. That's my personal calendar. And we'll be able to.
I have no idea what my schedule is. That would be a big mistake for me to. I'm gonna send this right over to her right now.
Okay.
She'll create because I don't know my schedule. That would be,
Okay, cool.
But I'll make this happen now.
Perfect. And if I can just have you just assure me that you guys will schedule a follow-up. Like I said, I'm not the salesy.
I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna schedule a follow-up right now. I'm gonna send this right over.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. Okay.
You got it, Brett. You're good. I appreciate you. Thank you.